What's going on? You are tuned into Kick 'em, Pick 'em Gambling Show brought to you by TwoFootTalk. I am your host. My name is Young Leg. We are back again. 2-week hiatus as we were traveling around Europe. This is my I went to Europe hat. I don't know if you guys like it. Went for the Samuel L. Jackson look. I'm wearing it backwards because I'm also a baller, just like Samuel L. Jackson. Honestly, a solid 2 weeks for me to take off because it's just been an absolute shit show. Real Madrid can't thrive without 2FootTalk. 2FootTalk thrives either way, but Real Madrid, we got you. We're back. It's been a long 2 weeks. It feels like a lot's happened. It feels like I missed a lot. And I am really just trying to get over the jet lag and prepare myself for work tomorrow. So, good times in Madrid. Oh, hold on. Just couple of things I learned abroad, guys. So, I went to Europe, so obviously I'm smarter and more cultured now. Cool things I learned abroad. So it's just a couple bullet points here. 1, no tipping. America, what the fuck are we doing? Giving every little shitter, even if they're bad at their job, we're giving them 20%. These guys are tipping maybe 5-7% tops. I was giving Uber drivers €1 tips, and they were kissing my feet. It was awesome. So tipping, non-existent. The next one just says play into America guns stigma. Everyone just talks shit on America as soon as you go into Europe. A lot of people being like, well, if this was America, you'd get shot. And the tours I was on, I just kind of would turn around and be like, yeah, remember that. Okay. I got 2 on me now. Who knows? Concealed carry, baby. We're Americans. Everybody has guns. So I'm just leaning right into the stigma that everybody has guns, and it makes us a little bit scarier. And notice I did not get robbed when I was over there. Just saying. I wrote America does bacon the best. I keep getting bacon over in Europe, and in England they cut it funny, and in Spain they just don't do bacon or actually cooking their ham. It's very raw or deep fried. So America, we're killing it on bacon wise. We are absolutely killing it. Keep throwing it on whatever sandwiches, however we're doing it, elite. And then finally, European cigs, greater than. Hand rolled, tastes better, way cheaper. It was like €5 for a pack of cigarettes out there. I don't even smoke cigarettes, but damn well I'm getting one for 5. Shit, I was thinking about just laundering them back to the United States and fucking making bank. Could have spent €20 and got like 4 or 5 packs. Incredible. So yeah, that's what I learned abroad. Also, when you're coming back, don't ever claim all your shit, because some people took some pork sticks away from me that I was very much looking forward to eating later on. I had them for breakfast a lot. You robbed them, Philadelphia airport. So what I've learned is never tell them if you brought back any food. That's what I learned abroad. All right, but anyway, let's get into it. Last week, fuck yous. It's also going to be a little bit of reactions to Madrid, UEFA, the French Football Federation, all that jazz. And, get a little spice of who fucked my parlay up today. No Oaks today. He is chilling with his pops, and we promote family time here at 2FootTalk. So do your thing, Oaks. Have a great time. Papa Oaks, what's good? I know he likes listening. We out here. My first fuck you though is Madrid. Real Madrid. Not only did I have to witness you get absolutely spanked by Barcelona, we lost our unbeaten streak in the Champions League, in La Liga, and at the crib. So it's not even like the Bernabeu is no longer sacred because you're letting fucking Milan come in here and handle business. So I'm not going to single out any players or managers yet. Do I already have my list made as an overreactive fan? Yes, I do. I'm not going to be one of those guys that immediately blames them all. Would I like a couple questions answered from Ancelotti, how Brahim Diaz is just getting the nod ahead of Arda Güler or Endrick after coming back from injury and not doing shit really? He's looked awful both times. Yeah, I'd like some answers. But again, this is Madrid. You get real low. It's always darkest before the dawn. It's hard to complain. Now, I know we've dropped our last 3 matches, and that's more than all of last year. But then you have to remember, oh, yeah, but we also just went 380 days without losing a match. So you're spoiled until you aren't anymore, and everybody was waiting to see Madrid lose. So when we lose hard as fuck. And it's always embarrassing as fuck. So, Madrid, you made it a rough 2 weeks for me. Next one, UEFA. Just really funny how as soon as UEFA gets involved with the French Football Federation for the Ballon d'Or, a guy that was favored to win it for months after winning domestically the European Championship, the Super European Championship, European Championship Player of the Year. Just a lot of things all went towards Vinny winning it. And then all of a sudden, his attitude. Now, I've been told many different things. At first, I was told it wasn't a footballing reason and it was for off the field. And then they were like, oh, shit, wait, didn't we just give this guy the Socrates Humanitarian of the Year award from the exact same publication? Yeah, so we can't say he's a bad human. Well, let's just say he has a bad attitude on the field. And then I'm looking at how Gavi got the Golden Boy, how fucking Emi Martinez has now won back-to-back Yashin Goalkeeper of the Year trophies. The guy that pretends that trophies are his cock and holds little babies with Mbappe's photo on it. Somehow all of that is better than Vinny. And not to mention the Ballon d'Or snub where they give it to Rodri. And again, no shots at Rodri. He's probably the best in his position. My only argument is if you wanted to try to say he's the better player, just attitude-wise, well, that's not true. There's a lot of video of him strangling other players. And also, didn't you get suspended for saying something intolerant about Gibraltar? So, little things where if you want to bring the human side into it and the good person side into it, little suspect there. And what I'm now just saying to people is, hey, if you're making a starting 11, who's the first player that you're putting on your team? And once you go through 3 or 5 names and they're just all not Rodri, that's what I'm like. So how did he win the Ballon d'Or? Again, incredible season for him. Did he do better the year before, but somehow Messi still won it when he won a treble and literally like 6 titles and did the exact same thing that he did this past season? Yeah, and he's going to continue to be consistent as fuck throughout his whole career because Rodri is extremely good. But UEFA and French football, if we didn't already know that your award was a complete sham since Lewandowski and Haaland both got subbed, we definitely know now. And Wesley Schneider is just laughing about it. He's just like, guys, I've been telling you all this for the last 15 fucking years, that this trophy and that this publication in French football doesn't mean shit. And you know what's sad is I'm pretty sure that the Saudi Arabian one that they just made like the last 5 years is now the new go-to one of like, oh, this is who should have actually won. So it's just getting ugly over there for French football and UEFA. UEFA going UEFA, though. The next 2 are strictly guys that fucked up my parlays. I had a couple of, I do a couple birthday parlays where you just throw like 5 legs and throw $10 to try to win 200. Benfica does not respect the coin. Not only did you not go out and get me a goal, but you forced everyone to watch 90 minutes at the Allianz where there was only one fucking goal and your only shot was from inside your own half. You took one shot the entire fucking match and it was from inside your own half. And what's even worse is the fact that Bayern Munich didn't absolutely beat the piss out of you guys. The fact that y'all made us watch that game for a 1-0 win for Bayern. That was fucking horrendous. Benfica, you absolute pieces of shit. Score a fucking goal or just take the ass beating. Nobody's trying to watch this 1-0 win. Facts. Madrid are deep in the mud right now. Deep in the mud. It's always taken with a grain of salt when a Manchester United fan tries to tell me about being in the mud because I'm just like, ugh. I mean, I know that you guys are free today because you're not in the Champions League, but let's just take a quick look in the mirror first. But again, everybody's in the mud right now. It's rough. My last one's Leverkusen. Another very large piece of a parlay where they just didn't want to score a goal. Now, that one's a little bit more fucked because my boy Frimpong did get robbed of a goal, which would have kind of changed the entire match. I just needed both teams to score, though, and Anfield's a tough place to go for clubs, and the record speaks for itself this season. Just score one fucking goal, though. Luis Diaz had his absolute way with Leverkusen, by the way. That was horrendous, but Frimpong, I feel for you. That's my dog. I got robbed of my shot on target, and my both teams are scoring that game, so fuck you, Leverkusen, for not coming to end of business. All right. Let's get into the weekend slate. The Spanish slate is fucking garbage, so I don't have much to say there. I do really like the English slate, and to the hope of Manchester United fans, don't worry, I'm not going to talk about your game because nobody fucking cares. Odds suck, and you're playing Leicester. I'm probably in betting a Vardy goal, and that's all I'll do for that game. We're going to start with Brentford versus Bournemouth. So Bournemouth, aka the Kingslayers, I think they've been to Anfield now, they've played City now, and they've played Arsenal now, and they have not lost to any of those teams that are all fighting for spots at the top. They do play Nottingham Forest soon, so they're going to play all the big dogs. On the flip side, Brentford at home. The only thing that I will consistently continue to bet on Brentford is Brentford to score in the first half, and I think it's already on my big board, and it's usually Brian Mbuemo or Wissa who takes a shit ton of shots and just keep running up Brentford to score in the first half. It also makes it very fun to just take both teams to score in this one because it's a decent number, especially over in England. I think it was sitting at like minus 155-ish, and you can get really creative with this one. You can throw a shot on target in there between Evan Nielsen or between Mbuemo. You can take a goal scorer between Evan Nielsen and Mbuemo, but both teams score over 2.5. Odds weren't super there for me, but that would probably be the best bet as far as getting closer to the plus sign. I do think Bournemouth will end up taking this one. I think the smart play would probably to be Bournemouth on a draw no bet. I don't really want to eat any of that juice though, but my go-to is going to be both teams to score in this one. Moving on. Brighton versus Manchester City. So all the top dogs are in the mud right now. Manchester City is not shying away from that either. They have dropped their last 3 in a row. I think they have 3 losses in a row. Pep Guardiola doesn't lose 3 games in a row. So unfortunately for Brighton, they are going to get their ass beat at home. I'd love to be wrong here and Man City to continue to flounder. I just don't know how it happens. I don't think a Pep Guardiola team has ever lost 4 games in a row. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really think it starts with Brighton away. We're getting Man City on the money line at minus 125. I was looking at Man City money line over 1.5. Even you want to go super chalky, go for Erling Haaland win cash. You're getting a great number right now for that since he hasn't scored in his last, I think, 2 or 3 matches, and City keeps losing. So I like City here. And it's not based off of their form or their players. It's just off the fact that Pep Guardiola does not lose 4 games in a row. Mind you, he only coaches at top clubs. He only manages top teams, but he does not lose 4 games in a row. So I would go super chalky here and Man City on the money line. I also don't hate both teams to score because Brighton at home, handle your business. But we'll see who Brighton wants to line up. They've been kind of mixing it up a little bit with the injuries and whatnot. Moving on. Next one we got Liverpool versus Aston Villa. So this is where you pretty much just figure out a way to get Liverpool on a money line and add in anything to that parlay because I do not see them losing in Anfield, especially to Aston Villa, who can't travel outside their own crib, whether it's Champions League or in the EPL now. It seems like Aston Villa, when they aren't at home, just are not the same. They don't got the same marbles. And going into Anfield when you're questionable away from home, not the best spot for it. I like Liverpool here. I think the money line was like minus 235 or something like that. So you're going to have to play around with it. Liverpool money line over 1.5 will get you a little bit closer. I still don't think that's enough. I would look at Liverpool money line and both teams to score. I do think Aston Villa could get one. Ollie Watkins has a decent record against Liverpool. And Aston Villa's got to bounce back after going goalless against Bruges in the Champions League, which they used to be top dogs. They were the only perfect team besides Liverpool. So that would have made this game a little bit more interesting. Probably would have helped my odds out a little bit. But anyway, you can get Liverpool with a plus sign, whether you're taking Luis Diaz to score assists in Liverpool money line. You want to go fucking chalky, Mo Salah, anytime goal scorer in the money line. That's what I would do. Next one we got. This is a massive match now because Nottingham Forest is sitting in a Champions League spot in the year of our Lord 2024. So I don't hear from a ton of Nottingham Forest fans, but the few that I have, a couple of them are talking a little too much. There's like, you could have done the cool thing where it's like, hey, we have European titles, like act like you've been there before. You didn't. And what happens for Nottingham Forest here is going to be really Union Berlin-y, where you look great. You only have to worry about like the FA Cup and the Premier League. So you only have 2 competitions to worry about. You're going to grind it out. You'll probably get like 3rd, 4th place, maybe 5th, 6th place. And as soon as you insert European football into that equation, you're going to try to throw a bunch of money at people that don't work in your system and didn't get you where you are right now. Or you're going to run all those guys into the ground. They're not going to make it the full season. And then you're going to end up going from fighting for a European spot to back to 15th, 11-ish place, right in between there. So Nottingham Forest, they've been running a successful club so far, slowly building their way back up. I think they're kind of peaking a little bit, maybe even a little bit too early here. I would love for them to keep this stretch going down the road. But then what the real problem is going to be is, what kind of pull do you have? Are you going to lose these players that got you to where you're at right now? Are you going to be able to bring anyone in for European competition? Are you going to throw money at dumb shit like going and getting Bonucci for your Champions League run, like your Union Berlin? So Nottingham Forest has a lot to think about. I also just think Newcastle loves playing spoiler. Newcastle has now ruined Arsenal's title hopes. They've knocked Chelsea out of a cup right after losing to Chelsea. So they learn immediately off of their losses. And I still think Eddie Howe is one of the best managers in England. You can hate on me for that if you want, but he's doing a lot with a little. Tons of injuries. You don't know exactly who's going to even be starting on that back line. I did see some people trying to hype up Dewsbury Hall. Let's slow it down there. Livramento, fantastic player. Dewsbury Hall, okay, I get it. He had 3 tackles last game out of 3. Don't look at any of the other matches he played in before that, I guess. But I love both teams to score in this one. And I actually like Newcastle on the draw no bet. This game screams draw to me. And I would rather take Newcastle in the clutch to kind of edge out the draw rather than just straight up going for the draw. But Big Wood playing against one of his former clubs. I like Big Wood props here. I like him for a shot on target. If you want to really go for it, go for a headed shot on target. He is finding himself in acres of space in the box. I don't know how you don't realize, hey, look at this big motherfucker in the box, this big New Zealander in the box that has just been heading in absolutely everything, always finding space, and he's finishing. What does he have, 9 goals on the year already? So Big Wood is doing his thing. I don't know if Alanga's back fully fit. Hudson-Odoi is always in and out of injuries, so they have a lot of options as far as attacking wise. But to me, it's, let's toss this shit up to Big Wood and let him do his thing. So Nottingham Forest, I don't see them getting the win here, but they also are one of the best teams in England right now. So who am I, Last one I got for you guys. Chelsea versus Arsenal. We have a London derby. So Chelsea is plus 180 on the money line at the Bridge. I'm judging this based off what I watched from Arsenal over the last 3 weeks. One, is Declan Rice good? He didn't travel with the team. I saw Odegaard travel with the team, and he's training fully again. So I figure Odegaard will be back for this one. But where's Declan Rice now? Your midfield is still incomplete. You're playing Mikel Moreno. I do understand he can play box to box. It feels like you're trying to make him play more defensive when what you want him to do is go play quarterback and move the ball through the channels. Stop having him sit back. Let him go move the ball. Find himself in some dangerous spots. He can hit a ball. He can get on the end of a cross. He's a big boy. He's got good touch. He is a Spanish midfielder. Let him go be a maestro. Stop having him sit back. He is not Rodri. Let him move forward. That being said, Chelsea on the draw no bet at their crib at even money. I fucking love that number. Arsenal, would be a great bounce back game for them, and this would be a big win for them as far as still being hopeful for the title. At least City's still dropping points also. You need Liverpool to drop some points here, but this is a game that if you're Arsenal and you actually want to challenge for the title, you have to go out and win. I just don't see that happening. I think the safe bet is to take Chelsea on the draw no bet. Nico Jackson, Cole Palmer, I would take either of their props to score assists or either of them. Numbers probably aren't even there because they've been the entire offense. The only thing that can really go wrong for Chelsea is if you see them sub in Mudryk, which is just like, why are we still doing this with Mudryk? It was kind of like when they signed Yao Felix. It's like, really? This is what they wanted to do? Okay. But I would still rather have Yao Felix in than Mudryk. Mudryk just really isn't adding anything. Neto is getting a shit ton of time over at Chelsea as well. He draws a ton of fouls. I've been taking whoever is guarding his side for cards. Saliba should be back for this one, I'm pretty sure, unless he's suspended for 2 matches. But I'm pretty sure Saliba's back. I expect him to come in hungry. I'm going to probably end up taking a Saliba shot. I want to also say both teams to score, but Arsenal's got I think, 2, maybe 3 shots on target over the last 4 matches. It's been really rough trying to get goals out of Arsenal. Whereas Chelsea will go get the goals. It's just actually keeping anyone out of the back of the net, which is what they seem to be struggling with a little bit more. But I lean Chelsea here heavily on the draw no bet. And if you wanted to be like, yo, let's do both teams score over 2.5, it wouldn't be that hard to convince me to do it. But I would ask a couple questions like, who the fuck is scoring for Arsenal? And if you say Saka, I'll be like, you know what? All right, I'll watch Saka cut in from the left and hopefully hit a banger. Let's see what happens. Moving on, we're going to España, the best league on the planet. It's no football. Es la Liga. All right. We got Real Madrid versus Osasuna. Now, here's the problem. Osasuna have been giant slayers. They absolutely punked Barcelona. They handled business with Atleti. And we notoriously do awful against Osasuna. So in a moment where Madrid has dropped their last 3 games, the Bernabeu is no longer sacred. We now have Osasuna coming to town, and we don't really have the same offensive identity that we had. It's a lot of playing favorites right now and waiting for people to figure it out, and then that person then complaining about how they don't like the position they're in, even though when you signed for this team, that was the plan the whole time. It's just always weird when you want to try to take a position of a guy that should have won the Ballon d'Or, because it's probably not going to happen. Real Madrid needs to beat the shit out of Osasuna here. I think Osasuna is actually going to score first, but I do think Madrid will get the win. So I'm taking Real Madrid money line and both teams to score is at plus 155. Like that number a lot. The books don't think Osasuna is going to score, and I'm just sitting there like, hey, who's their left wing? Because that side's wide fucking open. Luis Diaz is going to eat Lucas Vazquez's lunch. I really hope that we're going to promote that 17-year-old that plays right back for our academy right now. I don't give a fuck who it is as long as his name isn't Lucas Vazquez. So this is just going to be another rough game unless we're going to put anyone else at right back, because the formula right now to beat Madrid is, hey, the left side is wide the fuck open. Attack their right flank. Everyone's going to have to shift to try and figure out how to even solve the problem. We got center backs moving out of position to go cover Vazquez. We got midfielders moving out of position to go cover Vazquez. And then just cross the fucking ball. If you can just dribble past just one of them and dump the ball in, all you have to hope is that Militao or Rudiger is a step slow or has to mark more than one man, and you're getting free shots on a backup goalkeeper. So the formula for beating Madrid has actually never been easier than it has the last month. And I hope the board is happy when they said, we're fine with Lucas Vazquez as a right back, even without Danny Carvajal. I hope they realize how fucking stupid they sound and now how stupid they make our team look by not going out and getting a backup center back and getting a backup fullback. The fact that we aren't just throwing Tchouaméni at center back and letting Militao play right back, we got to try something else here, because this shit is clearly not working and our weakness is fucking evident. So I love the both teams to score. I do think Madrid will still get the win. You got to stop the bleeding at some point here. Osasuna is a solid team to do it against, but they're not going to make it easy. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Also, I think Vinny is 1 card away from suspension. And let's just take a quick look at who we're playing next. It couldn't possibly go bad for us, right? Who are we playing after Osasuna? Oh, Leganes? Yeah, so I'm taking Vinny for a card. He'll be suspended for the Leganes game. And then we go into international break. Who the fuck cares? Vinny card. And if you compare it with a goal, I would probably do that shit too. All right, last Spanish game I got for you guys. It is Real Sociedad versus Barcelona. Sociedad's Barcelona's backyard. So I'm going with Barcelona money line. I actually did Barcelona money line and over 1.5 to get a better number. That number's sitting at plus 105. If you want to be a real one, just go and take a Lewandowski win cast. The dude has like 19 goals in all competitions, and he's only played 14 games. If you're not betting Lewandowski every time you see it with a plus sign, it definitely won't have it in this one. But a Lewandowski win cast is pretty simple at this point. Moving on. Yeah, that's it. That's actually all I had to say about this Barcelona Real Sociedad game. It's going to be that cut and dry. Barcelona's going to win. Lewandowski's probably going to score. Rinse, repeat. Yeah, we're not going to act like this is fucking rocket science here. Moving on, I have 2 Italian games. And then I'm going to probably get the fuck out of here. Let me check on my Brazilian games and see how we're really doing. I'm going to have a wheel for you guys, but trying to keep it nice and light. All right, we're still good over there. As long as Flamengo gets me this win, that's all that matters. First one I got. It's the Turin Derby. Juventus versus Torino. This is another one where I won't overthink it. Juventus steady has Torino's number, especially at the Allianz. Juventus is going to win this game, so do what you got to do to get to a better number, closer to a plus sign. Juventus money line is sitting at like minus 170, minus 165-ish. So it's a dangerous game you're playing when you're betting with Juventus in the Italian league. Like, you can't even just go Juventus money line over 1.5. I think the safer bet would genuinely be a Vlahovic win cast, which is also really fucking scary to do if you're going to be starting to bet on Vlahovic. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. But for this one, I mean, Juve money line and under 2.5 maybe to try and get a plus sign. Anything where you can get that number down, but just don't expect a high scoring game. Don't expect the stars to shine. It's just going to be an all-around Turin Derby, Italian nitty-gritty game. They're going to go at each other. It's going to have one fucking goal in it, and the black and white team is probably going to win. That's just how this derby goes. With no Zappacosta, I don't even know who's really going to be kicking for Torino. Usually, I would say, oh no, he went to Roma, didn't he? Yeah, so I have no idea who Torino is going to have coming up here, and they're going to be able to actually do anything. Gatti has been playing god awful, so I might take him for a card. But Torino, they got a long trip ahead of them. Finally, last one I got for you guys. Inter Milan versus Napoli. So, Mike's in the chat. I will see where Mike's confidence level is at for Napoli. Mine, not that bad. I'm actually looking at a Napoli double chance here. I think Inter just had a very long game against Arsenal, which Arsenal they didn't score any goals. So that whole Arteta comment of this performance could have beaten Chelsea. Well, no, it couldn't have. You didn't fucking score any goals. If Inter goes and plays like that versus Napoli, and Napoli plays Conte ball, because Conte is going to want to win this game or at least get a result, I don't think Inter walks away with that. I think it was a little bit of a lucky penalty kick. It was a clear penalty kick. It hit him right in the hand. Hand was in a weird spot, but that's kind of a bailout way to win. So I don't think Inter can go into this game fully confident that they're just going to go in and dominate. And I think Napoli is going to have Conte on their ass all week, talking about how they got to get this result against Inter. So I am looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be cards galore. I like the line at 4.5 right now. It's looking beautiful. If you need me to just look at predicted lineups and tell you who's going to get cards, I can do that shit too. But on both sides, there's hacks everywhere. Both midfields have hacks in them. Both backlines got hacks in them. Even the forwards like to just bitch all the time. So hacks galore in this one. And the line only being 4.5. I know I watch a lot of Spanish league, and that's where most of the cards are. But 4.5 just seems very low for an Inter-Napoli game. But also, catch me taking any McSauce props. I'll probably take him for a shot on target in this one, but taking McSauce to score assists and it hitting as often as it does, I love that man with all my heart. Manchester United, what did you do? Why would you do that to my boy? But anyway, let's get to the wheel. Now, the real question is, do I call Oaks and tell him what he got on the wheel or no? If I get Oaks is wild, then I have to call Oaks. But this is the wheel. If it's your first time here, guys, we've got every single league on here. You have to pick a goal scorer from that league. We also have a couple of wild cards here with Oaks is wild, pick a 0-0, Wiles pick, double booty where you're going to pick 2 goal scorers, or pick a 4-goal John where you just got to pick something where you know the over is going to actually hit. I am going to be going first, obviously, since Oaks isn't here. Let's get it.
Shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut.
It's a good ball. Just letting you know that the wheel loves me and it hates Oaks. Hold up. They get pissed watching all of the rest of Europe play maybe football. I hope. That was a good way to put that. I hope. Well, first things first, I'm going to see what the number is on Lewandowski because that could just be an easy layup, and Oaks isn't here to tell me that I can't pick Lewandowski. Y'all feel me? So, like, just run up these fucking numbers on the Golden Booty. But if not, I'm going to end up taking Vinny, and that one will probably also be negative, and I'll just be really sad. Ooh, fuck it. I'm taking Lewandowski. You can't stop me. This is going to be the 1 week Lewandowski doesn't score, and I'm just going to be really fucking sad about it, guys. Really fucking sad. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. I won't lie, it is way easier to get through the show when Oaks is in here, but I also like having all of Oaks' rants and opinions as well. So make sure you check us out on Twitter if you're not watching on Twitter already, at TwoFootTalk. That's at TWO FootTalk. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, the link is right in the description down below. Make sure you go and buy some drip, tftdrip.com. Fund my next trip to Italy, tftdrip.com. Get you any type of gear you want. It's wintertime. We got hats in there. We got hoodies in there, crew necks, all that jazz. If you want to support me, you want to support Oaks, tftdrip.com. You can follow me at a young leg. That's at a young leg on Twitter, on Instagram, Twitch, all that jazz. If you wanted to play me in pro clubs or on Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which we've just been absolutely smashing the shit out of, you can go catch me at a young leg. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Appreciate it. It is free for you and helps us out a lot. Other than that, fuck what you heard. It's what you're hearing. We are 2Foot Talk, and I'm out.